Hey, I'm Dave Asprey, founder of Bulletproof, and I don't normally look like that. I'm wearing a mask here that's full of LEDs because we're going to talk today about what to do during the holidays so that you don't have the seasonal affective disorder, or just sort of the winter blues as we call it. It turns out very mild depression that isn't full-on sad is pretty common during winter. And I'm up here on Vancouver Island where it's dark, where it's very common for people to just kind of be down. They want to sleep more during winter, and you probably should sleep a little more during winter. But I'm going to talk about technologies you can use to keep your moods elevated and to keep yourself going during winter. One of the things that's most powerful is light. In fact, that and food are the two big technologies that you can use to get some leverage. So what about light? Turns out that the color of light and the timing of your exposure to light are very, very important. And during winter, there are companies that make light boxes with blue light. In fact, this cool thing here, which is a cheap thing I bought on eBay, is able to do blue as well. What this technology does is it changes what your brain does in response to the light. So blue light tells your body that it's morning, but in a real world, blue light doesn't come from LED lights, and blue light belongs up here. This is where the sun is. This is not where the sun is. And there are studies that show that when light comes in at a different angle, that it does different things. So what I used to recommend was blue light in the morning or bright white light. But based on some recent discussions I've had on Bulletproof Radio and some long-term concerns I've had about blue light, I'm recommending bright white light instead of blue light in the morning, because it turns out that blue light can increase oxidative stress on the cell membrane. And apparently, this is a theory that I think has a lot of credence. We evolved to experience blue light from the sun, which has a lot of thermal and infrared energy in it. When you're using blue LEDs like this mask, you're actually not getting that. All you're getting is the light without the heat. And the theory is that the infrared signal triggers the cells to do the regenerative process that happens when they're exposed to the oxidative stress from blue light. In other words, blue light may age your cell membranes if you're exposing yourself to it chronically. And let me tell you, you are doing that. And the reason you're doing that is because all of our screens are sources of huge amounts of blue light that we're not used to seeing biologically. So during winter, you could use blue light like a drug for 20 minutes to wake yourself up in the morning, but you can do a little bit better than that. I recommend green light, which is a much better effect and is less stressful on the eyes, at least a much better effect on me. I can't say that that's true for everyone. So in this case, you turn the light on, you can do green. And green gives you the same wake-up power as blue, but it's not quite as stressful on the eyes. I've also had a chance to do something that's a little bit less freaky looking and uncomfortable as this mask, which is the retimer. I don't have any kind of relationship with these guys. I've tried every sort of shine lights in your eyes kind of technology that's out there, and the retimer has the most studies behind it. It's also about $300, and it looks almost as dorky. Let's see. This is a light bluish green light. I don't know if, can you guys see that? And you put it on. Now this you can wear, but it shines the light from the bottom, not the top, which seems like counterintuitive, but the researchers who did this actually made it so that it works. So the retimer here is something you can just do your normal morning routine. You look kind of like Tron. It's a very sexy look, if I do say so myself. But what happens is my brain on an EEG, which of course I had to test, did show more calmness when I did this. And I feel a big difference if I wake up, especially early, and I do this for about 20 minutes. I really like it. And if I do it for, I think it's almost 40 minutes the whole time on this, it makes a difference. But the whole point here is conscious exposure to light makes a difference in the morning. But what about other things you could do that are less annoying? Well, here's a couple things you can do that are gonna just change your whole holiday season during the winter. This thing is called the human charger. And there's some question about how it works or whether it works when you look at what's going on. They've published some new research, and I believe that there's pretty good evidence behind this. And the reason for that is that the nerves in your body respond to light. In fact, they respond to lasers very, very well, and that's well documented. And I also know that they can respond to LED light. So this is not headphones. This actually is a very bright light. You see that? It's something that you put in your ear. Unfortunately, you don't hear anything, so it's not headphones. but you can put this in. And the theory is that you have your trigeminal nerve, and particularly your vagus nerve is in your left ear, and the nerves do respond to light, so they could be getting a signal this way. Your nerves absorb light through the skin. The skin is a light-sensitive organ, so this is a way to do it. I don't feel the effects of this that I do from the retimer glasses, but there's some evidence, and this is used in Scandinavia pretty reliably during winter. So there's something to be said for if you're going to be sitting in a commute or driving, you might want to just have these in the morning to give yourself an extra boost of bright light. This is about your body responding to the light in the environment around you. You might want to, at night, not expose yourself to bright lights. So I use these, and we carry these on the Bulletproof website. This is a little inexpensive amber bulb. You can use amber or red at night. So not getting bright white lights at night is a really good idea, so your body can get restful sleep, and you basically tell it it's morning, even if it's not quite morning in the morning, and don't prolong the day with excessive bright or blue lights. One of your big enemies there is the evil compact fluorescent bulb. This is bad news. This is one for filming that I don't use because LEDs are better. But compact fluorescent lights or regular fluorescent lights that you see in an office are going to make you not feel as good. You are getting a very big spike of blue light, and you're getting a flicker that you're probably not aware of, but that your brain is accounting for on a regular basis. So they suck energy in your brain. You get that blue light that creates oxidative stress on your cell membranes, and you don't get the repair signal that would come from being out in the sun. So these are something that shouldn't be in your home anyway, because if you break a compact fluorescent light, it's full of mercury vapor, and it has enough mercury in it to qualify as a toxic spill, yet it's in maybe even your kid's bedroom. We don't allow compact fluorescent lights in the house, except, well, this one lives in a styrofoam thing because someone sent it to me for free with a filming kit that I needed. Otherwise, I don't use fluorescents, and I don't think you should either, especially if you want to fight the winter blues. Get real lights. And here's the deal. Real lights are incandescent bulbs, or they are halogen bulbs. And halogen bulbs are nice and warm, and during winter, I love halogen lights. And if they're dimmable, so you can have halogen, but a little bit more dim at night, that's cool. When I first moved to Vancouver Island, I had serious problems. Vancouver Island is dark, and it's not as wet as Seattle, but it was getting me down. So I looked at the research. It turns out light intensity is more important than spectrum. That's a big finding. So here's the cheapest, most obvious thing you can do. You go to your local hardware store, and you pick up one of these amazing biohacking devices. And it's basically, you can see that, right? What it is, it's a 1,000-watt halogen. They call it a Klieg light or a work light. They run between $25 and maybe $75. Don't get the LED one. Get the old-fashioned one with those big 500-watt halogen bulbs, or at least 300 watts. It has a UV filter on the front, and as I'm doing this right now, I can actually feel the warmth. It's warming me up. This is what your body expects during a normal day. So what I did is I mounted two of these to the ceiling above my work area. So at about this angle above my head, I had two of these shining down. And you know what? During winter, my body was pretty darn convinced it was sun. It was very bright, and my sort of winter blahs completely went away. So there you go. The cheapest way is none of this cool biohacking tech. It's actually good old-fashioned horsepower, but they will heat up the room, and they do light up your electrical bill. So to recap, get rid of crappy fluorescent lighting, and even potentially get rid of some LED lighting, especially the bright white blue. Replace it with halogen, at least in areas where you spend a lot of time. And consider doing something with bright white light in the morning. Maybe blue if you don't mind a little bit of oxidative stress, but I tend to go towards white. I hope this was a helpful video for you, and I hope you have an awesome winter.